Let's get right into it. Number 10. Physical cash and coins. Imagine handing over a paper bill and getting real change back in your palm. That everyday moment is disappearing fast. Contactless payments, digital wallets, and even cryptocurrency are replacing the cash drawer. Sweden is already nearly cashless, and in China, QR codes can pay for almost anything, but cash had a feeling to it. Coins clinked in your pocket. Bills folded, crinkled, and counted down to the last cent. You could hear money before you saw it. Your grandkids may never stand at a counter and count out exact change. They may never feel the weight of a full wallet. The phrase cold hard cash may sound to them like dial the phone, a historical expression from a dead era. And that is the irony. We are making money faster, easier, and more invisible. But in the process, we are deleting one of the most physical parts of daily life. Number 9. Handwritten letters. There was a ritual to writing a letter. You found paper. You chose a pen. You crossed out a word, then tried again. You bought a stamp and licked it shut, or maybe you pressed it down with a thumb. Then came the mailbox. Then came the wait. That wait mattered. It stretched the feeling out. It made the message feel earned. Now we send a text in 2 seconds and expect a reply before the screen dims. Instant messaging is fast, but it has no scent, no crease in the paper, no ink smudged by a nervous hand. No envelope to tear open with your fingers, and handwriting itself is fading in schools. Many kids can tap faster than they can write a full paragraph by hand. That is the strange part. Digital messages feel permanent, but they are fragile. Servers shut down, apps disappear, accounts get deleted. A letter can sit in a drawer for 50 years. A chat thread can vanish with one update. We made communication quicker, cleaner, and easier to lose. And that is the next thing slipping away. Number 8. Dial-up internet sound. If you know, you know. The screech, the beep, the static cry of a modem waking up. It sounded like a robot choking in a tin can. Then came the handshaking, the whining, the awful little song of a connection trying to exist. And you waited. That is the part kids will never understand. You could not use the phone while you were online. You had to sit there and listen. Sometimes it took minutes just to connect. A whole ritual. A whole mood. One wrong noise and you started over. Today, the internet is silent, instant, invisible. A tap, a swipe, a click, and you are there. No drama, no delay, no sound at all. That sound was the internet physically forcing its way into your house through a phone line. It taught patience in a way modern kids will never learn. Back then, connection was an event, not a given. And that made it feel like magic. And that is exactly what disappeared. Number 7. True darkness and silence. Real darkness is getting harder to find. Light pollution spills over cities, suburbs, and highways. Even at night, something glows. A porch light, a router, a phone charger, tiny LEDs blinking on every device in the room. There was a time when you could step into your backyard and see the Milky Way stretched across the sky. Not a hint of it. The whole band, thick with stars. So many points of light they looked like clouds burning through the dark. Now the modern world hums all night long. Refrigerators, screens, modems, air conditioners, notifications. The silence is gone, replaced by a soft electric buzz that never really stops. And here is the part that should stop you cold. 80% of Americans can't see the Milky Way from their homes anymore. That is not just a statistic. That is a disappearing sky. True silence is fading too. No refrigerator hum, no distant traffic, no phone buzz in the next room. Just wind, insects, your own breathing. That kind of quiet felt enormous. Your grandchildren will think stars are something you only see in planetariums. Number 6. Physical maps and asking for directions. There was a time when you could leave the house and vanish for a while. No GPS, no check-ins, no location sharing. If you spent the afternoon at the park, the store, or a friend's house, nobody could map every step you took. Life was quieter then. Cameras were rare. Social media did not exist. Data tracking was not following you from app to app, device to device. You could make a mistake and it would just fade from memory. Now it lives forever in a database. Today, phones track movement. Smart speakers listen. Facial recognition spots faces in crowds. Even children are documented from birth online by their own parents. First photos, first steps, first words, all posted, stored, and searchable. Privacy used to be the default. Now it feels like a luxury. And future generations may never understand the idea of being unreachable, unrecorded, and completely unseen for a little while. They may not even know what privacy means. And that is exactly what makes it so strange. Next up, number 5. Number 5, boredom. Boredom used to be normal. It was unavoidable. You sat in waiting rooms with nothing but old magazines. You rode in the back seat on long car trips and stared out the window. You stood in line with nothing to do but wait and think. And that boredom mattered. It made kids invent games. It made people daydream. It gave the mind room to wander and create. Some of the best ideas started in moments that felt completely empty. Studies show boredom is essential for developing imagination and problem-solving skills. That empty space pushed people inward. It forced creativity. It forced introspection. It gave you time to notice your own thoughts. Now that space is gone. The second modern kids feel unstimulated, they reach for a screen. Every spare second gets filled. Scrolling, videos, notifications, noise. Your grandkids will never know what it's like to be alone with their thoughts for more than 30 seconds. And that is exactly what makes it so strange. Next up, number 4. Number 4, owning media. There was a time when you could hold your entertainment in your hands. Books, CDs, DVDs, real things. Things you actually owned. You could lend them to a friend. You could sell them at a garage sale. You could keep them on a shelf for 10 years and they were still yours. A DVD was simple. You bought it. It was yours forever. But now you can buy a movie on Amazon and they can delete it from your library later. That is the strange part. Streaming services can remove shows whenever they want. Licensing deals expire. Companies shut down. Digital libraries disappear overnight. So people think they own their entertainment, but they really just rent access to it. It sounds modern. It sounds convenient. It also sounds like control. Until the control is gone, your grandchildren may never understand the comfort of truly owning what they watch, read, and listen to. They may never know what it means to keep something forever. And that is exactly what makes it so strange. Next up, number 3, anonymity. There was a time when you could walk through a city and remain completely anonymous. You could ride a bus, buy a coffee, or stand in a crowd and no one would know your name. No facial recognition. No tracking apps, no trail of digital clues following you from place to place. Today, that kind of invisibility is rare. Cameras are everywhere. License plate readers track vehicles. Phones report location in the background. Stores, airports, and even public streets can identify faces instantly. In some major cities, your face is scanned an average of 75 times per day in 2026. Every purchase, every location, every interaction gets logged, stored, and analyzed. Being unknown used to be effortless. Now it takes active effort to avoid surveillance, and most people never truly disappear from the system at all. Future generations won't understand the concept of being a stranger in a crowd. Next up, number 2. Unscheduled childhood. Kids used to disappear outside after breakfast and not come back until the streetlights flickered on. No phones, no tracking, no constant check-ins. Just bikes, scraped knees, and the kind of freedom that felt endless. They roamed neighborhoods in packs, built forts in empty lots, wandered into the woods, and turned ordinary afternoons into adventures no adult ever planned for them. A ditch, a creek, a backyard, a broken fence, any of it could become a kingdom. Now childhood is managed minute by minute. Soccer practice, tutoring, piano lessons, supervised playdates. Helicopter parenting has replaced neighborhood roaming. GPS tracking has replaced trust. Fear has replaced freedom. Kids used to disappear into the woods for hours. Now parents get arrested for letting kids walk to school alone. Independent play is fading, and with it the ability to explore, improvise, and solve problems without an adult hovering nearby. Every moment is monitored. Every risk is weighed. Every ordinary freedom is treated like a threat. And future generations may never understand what it felt like to be a kid with nowhere to be and no one watching. Next up, number 1. Human-driven cars. There was a time when driving meant freedom. You could grab your keys, take the long way home, disappear into the night, or hit the highway with no destination at all. Learning to drive was a rite of passage. Learning stick shift was a badge of honor. Control, instinct, and independence all lived in your hands. That world is fading fast. Autonomous vehicles are already taking over. Planners are talking openly about banning human drivers by 2035 or 2040. In the future, steering your own car may feel outdated, dangerous, even illegal. Your grandkids will think manually controlling a 2-ton machine at 70 miles per hour was insane. They won't understand the thrill of a spontaneous road trip, the satisfaction of mastering the pedals, or the deep, simple freedom of deciding to just drive somewhere because you felt like it. No app can replace that feeling. No algorithm can recreate the pull of the open road. They'll look back at human drivers the way we look at people who rode horses to work. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future.